Local musicians in Wainwright were out busking for Timmy this past weekend. Timothy Wheaton lost his entire family in a horrible crash this past April on Highway 63. Music teacher Judy Marchuk and her students wanted to do something to help Timmy and organize buskers around their community.
What we've done is I started off with just my music students, but it has expanded to include other musicians in Wainwright area. We put them all together to go out busking for little Timmy. So probably an area of 25-30 musicians altogether have gotten on board with this, and so we just got all these different locations from stores and restaurants that have allowed us to go and kind of be in the way a little bit and bus for the little boy that lost his family.
Judy is my violin teacher and she's really nice and offered to let us join this.
I was actually praying, and I have a way when I'm kind of thinking, I pray and I play my violin, and I was just doing both of those, and I was praying for little Timmy, and the idea just kind of came to my head. So I think, well, maybe, you know, it wasn't mine.
I play violin mainly, and I came out here because I wanted to be part of this. I think it's a great cause and it's a good ministry.
I am playing violin and I decided to come out today because it's a really great cause, and since I can help, I should help.
It really tears apart your heart when you hear the story, and we're also part of the same denomination as that family was. I wasn't really familiar with them that well. I'd seen them around, but it just really tore my heart apart when I heard the little boy's story. And you know, we often hear about who's my neighbor, and your neighbor is the one who will step up and help. It doesn't have to be the person right next door, but your neighbor could be anybody in the world. And so bearing that in mind, I felt like I was his neighbor, and that poor little kid needs community.
I am encouraged by the amount of people who are interested in helping.
Makes me feel really good. It's something that should be done, so I'm glad that I have the opportunity.
Well, it's an awesome cause. I mean, that's really tragic what happened to him, and I'd love to do whatever I can, right? I was only able to give what a change I had, but if it helps, right?
Most of the people are very on board. Some people will go to the bank machine and bring in a big amount of cash, and others will empty what's in their pockets, and it's just a show of what's in their heart, you know. They give what they have and what they can, and it's been really encouraging to see the people and the response. And like most people, you know, they can tear up when they think about Timmy, and so yeah, the response has been wonderful.
Oh, there's been so many people that have come. They've been so nice, and everyone just wants to help out. It's really makes you feel good.
Well, I wish I could do more, but I do feel great that I'm helping him out. So, and I hope that he gets everything he needs.
The card, we have a master copy of the card, and on the outside of it we just have love from Wainwright for Timothy, and then we're having pages of the card distributed through all the busking locations. And what people can do is they can come and sign the card when they give a donation. They can put a little word in there if they want, but I want him to get more than money. Money seems kind of cold, and by the time he's 18, I don't want him to just feel like he's getting a lump of cash. I want him to feel like he's being loved, and that love will carry forward throughout his whole life. His whole impression of the world could be changed, I think, by a community expressing their love. I think the trust fund at the Bank of Montreal is accepting donations as long as Timmy, you know, I think forever. But for us, we're going probably another 2 weeks after this, where if they want to come by the Pentecostal Assembly, they can make a donation there, or, you know, contact us by phone, and we can direct them to a place where they can make a donation.
I just thank everybody for helping out, and for Judy for arranging it, and I think it's great. So, yeah.
The kids have been amazing. Like, we have small little children out busking. I have adults out busking. This seems to touch all ages, and even little children. Like, we're careful how much we tell them. You know, you don't want to say, well, they lost their mom and dad and devastate a child. But little children, when they, you know, they're involved in this. So that some of our kids are busking that are young as 7 years old. And so I am really impressed. We have a lot of youth out that are busking that are, 14, 15 years old, and they really feel, drawn to the cause. And so it's really awesome.
Donations are being accepted at the Wainwright Pentecostal Assembly and will go to a trust fund for Timothy at the Bank of Montreal. After the break, we have all the fun and action from the Lee Park Rodeo.